Hello everybody, my name is Jason Pyne, and in today's video I want to discuss how to plan out your week and how to do so in a very organized way. Obviously stuff comes up throughout the week that either we're not anticipating or something that we're very excited about that we didn't plan for but we want to say yes to, that gets put into our weekly schedule later. Today I want to talk about kind of how to plan all of that out in one really concise way. So every Saturday and Sunday, what I do is I get out my weekly planner and I plan out all the tasks that I have to do that week. And I think this is really important, and this is essentially the first step in terms of being organized on a week-to-week basis. When I complete a task for that week or that day, then I check it off on the planner. And this is crucial because when the week kind of wraps up, it's easy, especially if you've got another busy week coming up at the end, kind of back to back. It can be easy to forget, like, wait, did I get that done? Did I get it done on a different day? So it's important to keep those tasks memorized, but also to keep them organized in a way that works for you. I like the feeling and satisfaction of crossing it off, like, cool, it's done. But you can also do a little check mark. That's another way to do it. I would recommend, though, if you cross out a task that you got done, still make the actual task visible. So for example, maybe use the same pen color as you actually wrote the task with when you cross it out. Because if you, for example, if you use a blue pen, but then you use like a darker color of some kind, it can be like harder to see if you actually, like it can be harder to see what the original task was, even though it's crossed off and it's completed. Sometimes what I like to do is I have a couple planners now from previous years. I like to go back and take a look at some of the previous tasks and some of my previous ways of doing things. And even though I have kind of a refined system of things now, it's always interesting to look at the progress and say, like, wow, I've really kind of come a long way in terms of organization. Organization is something that can be really tricky, but it's important to always be working on that skill and always continuing to get better at it. The more organized each of us are, the better things get in some ways. But this is just one kind of example to plan out your week. The next step is obviously to do each of the tasks. I'm home a lot, so I can look back at my planner for a reference and say, okay, did this get done or did this not get done? Did I check this off or is it not checked off yet? But some people, for example, they might not be home all the time and they might not be able to look at their planner every minute that they need it. And so here are also a couple examples if you can't use your planner for reference for everything. One cool thing, and I would still recommend having a planner even if you are busy and not home quite a bit, but one of the cool things that iPhones have now, I don't know if Android phones have them, let me know down in the comments if they do, but each of the iPhones, now if you go into the Notes app and you, let's say you create like a little to-do list, then you can put a check mark next to each complete task in the Notes app. And that's one way to always have your to-dos with you. Obviously, it's good to have a schedule with you as well. So for that, I would recommend maybe the calendar app. Again, on Android, I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'm not a big fan of technology when it comes to organization, in my opinion, just because I personally feel that technology can be used for other things, especially phones. Do you have phones? And that's because we're already so busy. Phones can be or technology in itself can be kind of distracting, or is sometimes used as a distraction. So not the best organization tool, again, in my opinion. So an alternative might be, like, if you have like a little, I don't think I have one on this shirt, but if you have a shirt with a pocket on it, maybe bring a little notebook with you and all of your tasks are in that. and you carry the notebook around, or you carry the notebook in a backpack. That's another way to do it. And then speaking of tracking progress, this might not necessarily apply to being organized every week. Obviously, if you write down your tasks in a notebook and you're busy, be sure to bring it with you wherever you go so that way you can cross everything out. But speaking of tracking progress, the best way I've found to do that is just to, well, number one is to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing, but also to be consistent with it, let's say for 4 to 6 weeks, and then look back at the notes that you had, whether that applies to the week of tasks that you had or not, and then look back through those notes from each week and ask yourself and kind of evaluate, was progress made or was it not made, and then make adjustments as needed. Those notes that you make when it comes to week, if there's a task that you need to be tracking, they're also really helpful, and that's why, again, it's important to make sure that when you cross off each task as a completed task, that it's still visible in some way in case it needs to be referenced in the future. So thank you again for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making this one, and it's nice and bright today. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Down below, there's a red subscribe button. If you wouldn't mind clicking that, it would go a long way. And yeah, again, thank you so much, and I will talk to you again in the next video. Or I will talk to you later. I guess I say both. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go.